Now, as I said earlier, we're going to be heading eastbound on East Blythedale towards Tiburon Boulevard. And then from Tiburon Boulevard, we go right into downtown Tiburon. Now again, the reason why I selected this route structure is to give you options for experiencing the trip from Sausalito to Tiburon. Again, if you were cycling or hiking, you would take the Sausalito bike path over to East Blythedale. Then you go east on East Blythedale over to Tiburon Boulevard, and then there's going to be a Tiburon bike path. I'm going to take you all the way down to Tiburon, which is I'm going to show you. Or you can, if you're driving, as I said earlier, you drive into downtown Sausalito, check it out, and then continue on Highway 101 up to Tiburon Boulevard. Then you turn eastbound Tiburon Boulevard right into downtown Tiburon. That being said, let's continue on East Blythedale. East Blythedale. Okay, here's Whole Foods Market right on East Blythedale. So on your cycling or hiking trip, you also have the opportunity to stop, get a snack, take a break at Whole Foods, and then continue on your journey over to Tiburon. Now I'm on East Blythedale. We are approaching the bridge that takes you over Highway 101. This is essentially the Tiburon Boulevard exit you're going to be taking when you're coming northbound from San Francisco over the Golden Gate Bridge up towards this area, Mill Valley, as you head towards Tiburon. So as you can see on the bridge, you see this is going southbound on Highway 101 towards San Francisco. And same token, you see going the opposite direction, going northbound, the exit, the Tiburon Boulevard exit is going to be to your left here on the camera, on the video, but it'll be to your right as you're coming from San Francisco. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, here's Tiburon Boulevard. So now from East Blythedale, as you cross Highway 101, you're onto Tiburon Boulevard, and then as I said, if you're this route, you're going to be cycling or hiking, you're going to continue on Tiburon Boulevard to the Tiburon bike path. And just like the Sausalito bike path, we're going to continue on Tiburon Boulevard all the way down to downtown Tiburon. Tiburon Boulevard. Another directional sign indicating towards the scenic route 9 towards Mill Valley, but again we're going to head towards Tiburon. Now if you're cyclists, hikers, turn off of Tiburon Boulevard onto Greenwood Cove Drive. This drive will take you into the beginning of the Tiburon bike path. If you're a motorist, you just continue on Tiburon Boulevard down to downtown Tiburon. Well, as you can see down into this river here, there's some kayaks in the bay. So there's some kayaking options in the Tiburon Bay. Here's the directional signs I said earlier leading you from Tiburon Boulevard, as cyclists or hikers, on Greenwood Cove Way down to downtown Tiburon. The motorists, you just continue on Tiburon Boulevard to downtown Tiburon. We are in the city limits of Tiburon. Greenwich Cove Boulevard. Now here's the view of the Bay Cove, and as you can see, there are homes along the bay as well. This is more of we call it the Belvedere Island area, as mentioned to you earlier, where people have homes with houseboats, with sailboats adjacent to their home in the bay, in the Bay Cove. Now, just off of Greenwood Cove Road is a resting area. They have 2 benches there where you can relax, have lunch, take a snack, and observe spectacular views of the bay. But it's hidden behind those bushes. And here are the 2 benches I was referring to. And if you look here to your left, you're going to see a spectacular view of the cove, which is also going to include the homes on the waterfront cove. And some of the homes are right on the bay where they've got sailboats with a sailboat dock. Continuing along Greenwood Ridge Cove. So if you're running low on gas along Tiburon Boulevard, here's a 76 Union gas station. Continuing along Greenwood Cove Drive. Now you see this sign indicates what you're going to be seeing when you get to downtown Tiburon. Spectacular sunsets. As you see by the sign, we're heading towards downtown Tiburon. Cyclists will watch for pedestrians. That's important. Well, I was just informed by one of the local Tiburon police officers that you see that boat, sailboat out at a distance. It's in the process of rescuing someone that's adjacent to who's ever in that area. It's hard to see exactly what's going on, but he did say there was some kind of rescue attempt that's going on out there. If you can see it, I just don't know who's going to be who's being rescued. Just following up, I saw somebody go out to the sailboat, so I think maybe the person in the sailboat is being rescued, but it's hard to see it this long a distance. Wait a minute, so now I see another boat heading towards that white sailboat. See in the far right, there's another boat heading towards that white sailboat. So it appears as though it's the sailboat that's being rescued. It's hard to say at this distance. So now we're ending at the end. So now we're at the end of the Greenwood Ridge Cove Road, and we're entering the Tiburon Boulevard bike path trail. Well, upon entering the bike path, actually there's two of them from the Greenwood Ridge Cove. One bike path is more adjacent to where the Cove Bay is, and then the other one is more adjacent to Tiburon Boulevard. So we're going to go on both of them so that you can see the experience of being on both trails while observing the views of the bay. Here's a panoramic view of the Bay Cove from the entrance to the trail. So there is parking options at the trailhead. You would enter off of Tiburon Boulevard. Okay, as you see there, we're pretty much in the town of Tiburon. This is going to be the old rail trailhead. One of several information posts that give you insight about the history of Tiburon Boulevard as well as the trailhead. There's also a garden in front of the trailhead as well. There's some information on more about the garden. Views of the garden. One of many bench resting areas where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy spectacular views of the bay, and that's Sausalito in the background. As you can see, most of which is fogged in. Yet another bench view of the Tiburon Bay Cove. Continuing along the Tiburon bike path, walking site path. Here's yet another information post that talks briefly about the Richardson Bay area, as well as several homes that were built in the area. Yet more information posts that pretty much talk about the wildlife, the fish in the bay, and other relevant information around the Richardson Bay area. Yet more bench seating areas where you can sit back, relax, and absorb views of the Richardson Bay. Again, the background being Sausalito and Mill Valley. You can see the hillside homes as well. Now you can see you've got several options for the trails leading down to downtown Tiburon. There's one that's right adjacent to the Richardson Bay area, and then you got one here that's adjacent to another grass area park, and then you got one on the opposite end of the park as well. They're all heading, as you can see, southbound towards downtown Tiburon. And if you look further beyond, you'll see Tiburon Boulevard, the cars driving on Tiburon Boulevard. Here's more of the grass park area. This area, I've seen it used as the main soccer field, volleyball, and other recreational activities. You can also use the grass area to fly kites as well. I see a kite up here in the background. You can have a snack, observe views of the bay, and it appears as though it keeps a lot of the wind out as well from the fall coming in from the bay.